Hey guys, it's Rich Boy J here back again with another video, and this is going to be a mega review of all the Han Solo story sets that came out recently. Now this isn't going to be a holistic review. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details of each set. However, I am going to give you my general impressions and key points to each of these sets. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. First, we're going to look at the Imperial Patrol Battle Pack, which is the smallest of the bunch. It includes 4 minifigures, 2 of which in the front are these patrol troopers, and I think these things actually looks really nice. They include a brand new helmet mold, which I believe is also reused on the Mimban Stormtrooper, but these things actually look really cool. So I am actually really happy that it comes with 2 of them to start building these in bulk. The other 2 figures, which I was also pretty excited about, are what they're first calling the Imperial Immigration Officer and the Imperial Recruitment Officer. Anyone who knows me knows I was super excited about this figure because it includes this hat, which has not been an easy piece to get. It's basically an updated hat with the Imperial insignia printed on the front of it, which is very nice because it is kind of hard to get, and having so many of the Imperial officers without them makes them just look a lot worse. So finally having a way to get these hats in a mass quantity is very nice for me. This girl over here is basically just a Death Star Trooper helmet with the, I believe that's the Imperial landing crew torso and just black legs. So I'm kind of confused that they just kind of mixed all these various elements of previous things that we've seen together, but it looks all right. And I think the face print on it is just absolutely amazing. It's nice to finally have a female version of the face print with the chin strap going across it. So all in all, can't complain about the figures at all. I think it's a pretty stellar lineup. Now onto the build. I feel like these battle pack builds can be very hit or miss. The biggest problem I have with some battle pack builds is that battle packs are kind of meant to be bought in large amounts. So with the builds, I feel should be something that you would want a large quantity of. When it's some like speeder that's not even canon, which we get in most of them, or a turret that doesn't really look good, it's kind of hard to justify building all of them. However, with this speeder, I feel that, you know, it's obviously canon. We see it in the trailer. It's a very nice looking speeder. It looks just so Imperial, and I can see myself building each and every one that I get in the battle packs that I buy. Like, I'm not gonna get in a position where I'm like, I don't feel I need to build any more of these. And if I don't, of course, you know, there's some good pieces that come in it as well. So all in all, I'm really happy with the battle pack, really happy to get more of this this guy's hat. And I also want to point out that his face print is also very nice. It's nice to get new flesh tone Imperial faces so you can spread those amongst your ranks. So really happy with this battle pack. I think this may be one of my favorite builds of a battle pack ever, just because it's so nice and I could see myself building a bunch of them. Next set is going to be Han Solo's Speeder, which is the second to last smallest set in this bunch. I really love the design of this speeder. I feel like the colors on it really pop. Dark blue is just a very nice Lego color, and of course you get one of the Corellian hounds. It'll be interesting to see what kind of role they play in the movie, but I feel like the look of it is just so nice. You know, everyone always likes to compliment Star Wars by saying it's a very lived-in looking universe, and I feel that this just matches right up with it. It's kind of asymmetrical, and it looks like, you know, it was probably a full ship at one point, but he had to tear parts of it off, or he got into some accidents, who knows. But all in all, I really like the build. It is also cool that there is some quote-unquote trunk space in the front, so you can actually have some storage to put things in there, and I feel like all the details in here also look very nice. I feel you don't get very many like interior engine details when it comes to Star Wars ships, so it was actually a very nice change being able to get that. The size of this is also nice. You know, I can imagine a little kid having a lot of fun with this, rolling it around. It's such a playable type of vehicle. So all in all, super happy with the build. Moving on to the minifigures, you get Han and Kira, who are both very dirty for some reason. Hopefully that'll actually mesh up with what we see in the movie. These are 2 very nice looking figures. One of the things I noticed is that Kira in this set actually has short hair, which does kind of lead me to believe that the sequence that this set is going to be involved in is a prologue happening on Corellia, which is actually kind of cool. You know, it'll probably set the stage for what we see progress in the movie, and I do think it's cool that we're going to get to see even more planets this way. So all in all, I really like this set. The figures, I think, both have excellent detail. It's nice that, you know, Han Solo comes in so many of these sets. With these Star Wars sets, you don't typically see the main character coming in a variety of them. They usually only come in 1 or 2 just to spread, give you a reason to buy each individual set. But Han Solo comes in a lot of these sets, which I do appreciate. The next set we're going to look at is Moloch Speeder. The interesting thing about this set is I don't feel it's going to take place in a large portion of the movie. I feel like it's seen in that sequence in the trailer where it's actually chasing Han Speeder. And Han Speeder has a unique advantage in that it's a very sleek, nice looking design, and that, I could see someone being attached to it even if it's not in the movie for a very long time. This, on the other hand, I feel is the opposite of it. This has a lot of pieces in the build and it's very bulky, but it's still a very small ship. So I didn't really enjoy building this very much. It's not a very good looking design. It doesn't have the charm that I feel Han Solo's speeder has, and it has this big ugly Gatling gun on the front, so never really excited to see those on LEGO sets, although I do understand why they do it. But getting into the actual details of the set, if we look at the minifigures, you see it comes with Rebolt on the left, who I presume is going to be one of Moloch's henchmen, and I actually do really like this figure. He's also very dirty, and Moloch is very dirty as well. I'm guessing that there's a lot of ash or something floating around on Corellia that just gets everyone very dirty. But all in all, really do like that figure. And then I think that Moloch's figure just looks beautiful. Obviously, he has a new head mold. Obviously, he's using that new skirt piece that LEGO released, which is nice to see it coming in mini sets. I think the printing looks great, and it's a cool-looking Star Wars alien. Even outside of this movie, I could see myself throwing this guy in the background of some mock just to have a cool, unique, alien-looking dude hanging around. So I think even though the build in this set is not that great, it's very bulky. There's a lot of pieces on a very small size. I can appreciate the minifigures, and I can see myself having more applications of these outside of this set. And next up, we're going to look at the Imperial TIE Fighter. I feel I had an interesting set of experiences with this set. Whenever we first found out the line of sets we're going to get for the Han Solo wave, this one is easily the one I was most excited for. It's been such a long time since LEGO has released an original trilogy standard TIE Fighter, and I felt like this one was coming at a perfect time, also with the X-Wing coming out later on this year. So it all made sense for this thing to be released, and I was super excited for it. As the release date got closer to these sets, I started looking at pictures of it, and I wasn't as big of a fan as I thought I would be of it. I felt that some of the design techniques they used didn't really look great, and then when I saw it in person for the first time, I was super disappointed. One of the things that I just did not understand was why they were still using this 4x4 dish on the top as opposed to this type of piece that they used previously for the First Order TIE Fighter, and I just thought that it was a step in the wrong direction. I also didn't like how, if you look from the front, it looks like the bottom hangs a lot lower than the top goes up, and it just didn't really look enough like a TIE Fighter's cockpit for me to be super excited for it. Having had this set for a little while now, I've kind of warmed up to it a little bit more. I don't think it's as bad looking at it. One of the influencing factors of my opinion on this set was actually seeing Jarek's custom TIE Fighters. If you guys haven't seen those, make sure you check those out. So I understand that that's not really a fair burden to hold this set to, because that's mock. Mocks are typically going to be better than the set. There are a lot less constraints that the mocks have to follow, so I'm not going to be too critical on this set because I do think it's a fine design, and obviously a lot of people are going to be excited to have a plethora of these in their collection now because we have some original trilogy TIE Fighters that people can purchase on shelves right now. So all in all, while I'm not super thrilled with this set, I do still feel like they could have done a better job on the just shaping of the cockpit and not just having so many random dark gray elements. I understand that's something that LEGO just does, but for something that is very clearly solid gray, I didn't think it was super necessary. It's also kind of annoying that they're still not putting these exterior lines on the inside of the wings. I feel that's something that they're more than capable of figuring out now. But, it is what it is. It's still a very nice design, very swooshable, which is always great for TIE Fighters, so I really do appreciate that. Now, the figures are a different story. I feel like this set probably has the second best minifigure lineup out of any of these Han Solo sets. You get the disguised Han Solo in the front. You get the Mimban Stormtrooper, who I believe is sporting that same new helmet mold that those patrol troopers are sporting, and it looks very nice. You also get Tobias Beckett in the back. And you also get an Imperial TIE Fighter pilot. This one is unique, though, in that it has this, silver stripe going up the helmet, so it is nice to see that. That isn't just the run-of-the-mill TIE Fighter pilot we've gotten, but it is something that is actually kind of special. One other thing I did notice about these figures is that they, too, are also very dirty. However, the dirt on them is more of a, like a tealish color. I don't know what you'd call that. Maybe like a sand green if you're speaking Lego terms. But they're dirty. I'm not not really sure why. That's a common theme in this movie. However, I guess it fits in line with Star Wars, a very lived-in universe. And all in all, I do think these figures are very nice. One last thing I do want to point out is this helmet. Super excited about this. I feel like it's taken Lego such a long time to finally get this right. This is what we see on a lot of the AT-ST pilots. However, this is the first time it's actually sported like 3D goggles on the front. It's usually either just not there or something that they print on it, but it's nice to finally have something that truly does resemble what an AT-ST pilot would be wearing actually. So moving forward, I do hope that they use this, and I'm happy that it's finally a thing, and I'm probably going to try to get a few more of those to actually put on my AT-ST pilots. And finally, we are going to look at the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon, probably the most talked about of these sets up until this point. So taking a look at the minifigures first, I think this one sports the best cast of minifigures in all of these sets. You get the standard Han Solo, which is how I feel we're going to see him in most of the movies, so it is very nice to just have, a standard version of him. Then you get Chewbacca. A lot of people were complaining that the Chewbacca head mold was just not very good. And while I don't think it's perfect, I do quite prefer the older version of it. I think this thing is a lot less bad looking when you see it in person. And all in all, I do appreciate them trying to do something new with Chewbacca. So always a nice figure. I don't understand why his bandolier has no back printing, but whatever. Moving on to Kira, you can see here she's sporting some long hair, which kind of fuels my theory that the speeder set is happening in some sort of prologue that happens before the movie. And she's just wearing a standard yellow jacket. I actually do kind of like that because it's a very Star Wars-y looking torso. If I'm building some sort of mock, on Corellia or even on like Coruscant or something, I could see myself outfitting some minifigures with that torso. I think it fits in with everyone else, and it's nice to just have some Star Wars characters in kind of their casual setting to give you some opportunities to put those in mocks. Moving on to what is probably the best figure of this entire line, the Lando Calrissian figure. I think this thing just looks so beautiful. The fact that he has the black cape but with the blue on the inside, and it contrasting with the yellow shirt and the scarf going across it as well, it all just makes for a very great looking minifigure. Lando has always been known for his style, and I feel that that's really reflected in his Lego figure. It's nice to see he's sporting that new hair mold that they released for the Black Panther sets, I believe. So all in all, I think this is an excellent figure, and I'm crossing my fingers that we get the Cloud City Lando to come up pretty soon. Moving on to the next one, this is Quay Tulsite. This is, I'm assuming, one of the villains that he just kind of looks like a villain. I have no other information on him, but pretty nice looking figure. He's also sporting one of those new skirt pieces. He also has a very dirty skirt. Why is everyone dirty in this movie? Someone please explain that to me. He's just, I don't know. Whatever. Moving on to the next figure, it's the Kessel Operations Droid. I think this is such a cool looking droid. Like, it looks very unique. It's unlike any other droid that we've seen in a minifigure form, so it's nice to have him. He's also dirty. Okay, I'm just gonna stop commenting on that, but yeah, really nice looking figure. The red really pops, and all in all, the detail is there, so really do appreciate that. And then I think we have our candidate for the cutest droid. This is, I believe, BBDB. This guy is just so cute. Like, look at those boots. Like, it's adorable. Can't really say much else about it. It's a very interesting looking minifigure, but yeah, he's just so cute. How can you not like him? All right, so now we're looking at the actual set. This is the same general design that LEGO's been using for the Millennium Falcons, the playset ones at least, for the past, I think, 2 or 3 iterations, and I feel like they've really nailed it. These things are very playable. It obviously has the pizza slice type of access to the interior where you can just fold these things up and you can see the inside of it. When this thing first came out, everyone's like, oh my god, why does the Falcon look different? Disney's just trying to capitalize on our money, and they are just trying to, they're just scrounging for money. But I really do actually like this Falcon. This is probably my favorite playset Falcon that LEGO has released. It's very clean and sleek looking. I do much appreciate the color scheme with the white and the blue on it. And also, I guess I forgot to fold that up. But one of the interesting things about this one is, obviously at this point, it is Lando's Falcon. So the inside of it looks a lot more clean and fancy, as you'd probably say. But the cool thing about it is, I believe it's been said that Lando actually uses introduces this as more of like a party kind of ship. So it is cool to see like he has a bar there. You can see that the chairs over there look a lot nicer than we see in like episode 4 and forward. So all in all, I do quite like this ship. There's obviously the escape pod on the front, so it'll be interesting to see how this is used in the movie and if it just gets destroyed, and that explains why we never see it moving forward. One interesting thing I did want to point out is that in all the reference material that we've seen for this movie, the Falcon has its dish kind of just laying flat like that, and I just assumed that that's what that dish looks like. The Falcon goes through a lot of dishes, but LEGO did go out of their way to put in this play feature where you can actually move this dish around. It's on those ball joints, which does kind of lead me to believe that at some point in the movie we will see it going up like that. Otherwise, I don't really feel LEGO would put that design in there. I don't think they would build it that way, which I guess kind of makes me feel like maybe this is the same standard satellite dish that we see in the original trilogy. However, it just stays recessed until they need to use it, and then at some point maybe it comes up and gets stuck, and then they just have to leave it that way. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on the new Han Solo sets. I guess if I had to rank them, at the very bottom I would put Moloch Speeder, above that the TIE Fighter, then Han's Landspeeder, the Battle Pack, and sitting at the very top would be the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon. I really can't understate how much I like that set. I feel it's a very fresh take on the Falcon. It's something new out of the normal run-of-the-mill, A New Hope original trilogy version or sequel trilogy version, and I'm a big fan of the color scheme that they use. All in all, I really do like that set. So guys, let me know, what do you think about these sets? Which one's your favorite? Which ones do you not like so much? Also, does anyone have any idea why everyone is so dirty in this line of minifigures? So that's going to finish up the video, guys. Like I always say, if you like what I do, go ahead, support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by hitting the subscribe button, and I'll be back again very soon.